Okay, perfect. We are here. Okay, guys. This is the crew, the four of us.
3.5.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah, 4.5. Phoenix is outside in the other room right now. We are retired in Panama. And who are you?
Who are you?
Okay,
Okay,
I'll
she
go
started.
first. I am Megan. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and I graduated from Penn State before going into the Peace Corps and landing here in Panama. So I served as a volunteer for 2 years, learned a lot about Panamanian culture and speaking Spanish. And in that time, met Oscar, my now husband, and started working with Retire in Panama. And have been living here in Boquete for the last 3 years or so now. And on tours, I do all the operations and logistics to get you here, and I'll meet you on tour. And I think that's it.
My name is Oscar. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I have been in Panama since August 2009. Prior to that, I was in Costa Rica for 3 years and a half working in a hotel industry and also hospitality. So I have a background in hospitality manager, have a background in restaurants, tourism, guiding, and interpretation. And I am during the tours that we do, I am actually the one making sure you're having an awesome time during the week. Translating the culture of Panama, showing the inside outs of the country, connecting with the Panamanians, and it's been beautiful job so far. Been doing this for over 10 years now, um, and then ever since I met this guy.
So I'm onboarding one of our other people. So there we go.
So happy to be part of this team.
There we are. Hey guys. Okay, we got you on now. Not that we don't want to see you, but we'll call you back in about 15 minutes or so. So if you could uncamera and mute yourself, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, because we want to bring one. Yeah, we're going to bring one guest on at a time on the screen. That way you can see them better. Okay, my name is Rod, and I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here just over 11 years ago, and never looked back. I wasn't retired. I was in my 40s in my mid 40s when I moved here, and I had my own business. I had an online business. For those of you that do that stuff, sometime you should give me a shout so we can talk about it, because it's a great place to do that type of a business. But that kind of expanded into, I started working with Oscar. We met in the first few months, and I started marketing his business. He was already in the tourism and expat business at that time. So we are originally the first expat relocation company.
Technically speaking,
yeah. So we started doing that when I started doing work for him. He started helping me with services. Next thing we knew, we got in business together, and we opened up a local tour company. And that always expanded into doing private expat relocation tours, helping people get lawyers, bankers, stuff like that. So, but that evolved into what we currently do now, which is Retire in Panama Tours, which is a monthly tour of 10 to 12 people across 7 days across the country, and teach you every single thing you need to know about moving to Panama. And then when you do move, we're here to assist you in that move. So that's what we do. We are here to, the format for tonight is we're going to interview different, not really interview, just have an open discussion with some expats that live in different areas and have different types of lifestyles throughout Panama. And then you're going to ask them specific questions. So please, on this call, don't ask. If we got room at the end of the call, we can answer some general questions. But our first guests are from Nuevo Gorgona. Now, if that is a spot that interests you, that's one of the closer, largest beach communities to Panama City. And we have Mary Ellen and Bill were on our very first tour years ago. They kind of fell in love with that area. And Bill is a little under the weather, unfortunately, tonight, guys, so he's not going to join us. But Mary Ellen, our groups often see their homes For you people that have been on one of our tours, you'll probably recognize Mary Ellen. We at least meet them for lunch in Coronado, which is right next to that area. So, Megan, we should start.
Beautiful.
What should we ask Mary Ellen first?
Well, first is how did you stumble across Panama? What made you want to come on tour with us and check it out?
Bill and I always had a dream of seeing the horizon, and it was, we were in North Carolina in the United States, woods all around us. We had 5 acres, and it was beautiful. But after 30 years, we wanted to see a horizon. We wanted to see the ocean, and our dream was such that that's our dream right there. That's our balcony, and my favorite place to sit is in that swing chair. But we wanted to see the ocean, and we sold everything. I mean, we just said we're moving, we're going, we're taking this adventure, and so we sold everything. We didn't even know which country we were going to. And we had gone to Florida for 7 months to get residency there because of the taxes and stuff that was going to be easier for us in the future. And we didn't even know which country. So we narrowed it down to Costa Rica, Belize, and Panama. Costa Rica, we kind of kept hearing stories about how more expensive it was, and we wanted a horizon, right? So in Costa Rica, it's hard to get to the ocean, the Caribbean, which is what we really wanted. It was hard to get to. Even if you did, you probably couldn't get a view because they have the trees and the frontage that you can't be like so directly on the ocean. Anyway, we said, okay, we're just going to rule out Costa Rica, but Belize being English speaking, it was like that was of interest. And I said, we have to go to Belize first. We have to check it out. And when we did, we're like, no, let's go with Panama. And it was exactly a call like this that you got us, because you talked about helping you bring your dog, helping you, helping us with the move, and it just sounded so interesting that we're like, okay, we're booking right away. And as soon as we did that, it was game on. I mean, going to Panama, we're like, man, I hope this place works out. And I was surprised at how rich the country is. I mean, you got a huge city, Panama City, and then you go to all the different places that they took us on tour, which was so much fun. We were more beach oriented. So, we checked out all the beaches. We loved another area, but, Nuevo Gorgona and Coronado seemed to be very close to Panama City, easy to get in and out with airports. This is my view from my balcony. I see the sunset every night at dinner. I mean, you can't have a better dinner time balcony view than this. It twinkles at night because you got all the lights of Coronado. That's looking over at Coronado. And in the morning, I walk the dog on an empty beach with an incredible sunrise over the ocean. I don't want to tell too many people this, but it really is. Panama really is a secret that. I mean, my son has come here 5 times in 3 years that we've lived here, and he's like, man, this place is it's so natural. It's so unexploited, Anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. But that's how we picked Panama. And we're like,
Well,
no, we got to give it a go.
Actual, like the area, the town, I guess you call it, of Nuevo Gorgona. It's not the Coronado. It's not the big commercial center. But what is there for amenities there? Like, is there little restaurants? Is there little stores or?
There's like, you saw several different condos down the way. So you have a lot of friends that are within very close proximity. Plus we have pickleball. I don't know if anybody plays pickleball out there, but we pretty much are pickleball central for all of Panama. I'm just going to say that. I know there's some in Panama City that a lot of Panamanians play, but as far as expats, the community in pickleball has become so strong. You can basically get support for anything, and it's a great exercise, and you just feel like you have people you could count on anytime and anyway. I meet so many people from all over the world. That's what I really, really love. If I'm sitting at home in North Carolina, I am not meeting the quality of people that are here. I mean, just in my condo alone, there are people from South Africa, Australia. I would never know what is going on in those countries if I hadn't known these people and bring that culture. And then so many of us are retired or they're older. There's quite a few families now that are coming into our condo and going to the international school down the street. But they all have incredible histories and stories. And I just love understanding the people. Already people are sifted if they have come here. They're crazy like you. I mean, just to even consider moving to another country, you are now part of the crazies. And it is wonderful because you have so much in common. All you have to say is, hey, where are you from? And I mean, we were, people from South America and Europe. And anyway, I just love the people. So there are restaurants around. There are a lot of, you can walk dogs. You can, anything super cultural, you just go to the city. And it's an hour and a half from here. So,
how about things like the big supermarket or the doctor's office? How far of a drive is that?
It's going to be 15 to 20 minutes, and you don't have much choice in a lot of these you got 3 or 4 supermarkets. See, life is simple here. There isn't, it's just simple. There's only down the road, you have two places, Novi and Do It Center, that are like owned by the ones in the United States or whatever. You could just tell there's a lot of the same. Home Depot, but that's your choice. You're not going all the way across town to go to the Paneras you really like. No, it is just what you have here, and life is good, and life is just easy.
Nice.
Beautiful.
What questions?
What other questions?
Well, we went the way Panama, and what is the location? It's also because they get the area. And how do that find out? Like when you found about us, like what was that? Like getting the point to Panama, like how I'm gonna do it, with who I'm gonna do it. Like how was the process, and how was from experience now to it's been how many years? 3 years now?
3 years now.
3 years
now. 3.5 years since the tour.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4 years.
Yeah, we're on our 4th year now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm still just as excited, which is crazy. I know it sounds silly, but I am passionate about this place. Every day I'm so happy to where we are. My kids are happy we made the move. I mean, they come to visit us for a vacation. They love it. They love it. And I mean, just today I went to a waterfall that was epic.
Really?
It's just like a lagoon and this huge waterfall. And we had a photo shoot there. Connor, my son, is visiting, so he had his camera. I mean, it was 40 minutes from my house. And yesterday,
Maria?
La Poma, Chora La Poma, on the way to El Valle. I never knew.
Okay.
I never, but you know what? In Panama, there are no signs. So it's like, okay, you go this way, and then it's between the purple house and the pink house. And you kind of go down that way, and then she kind of stops you and wants $2 a person in the car, and then you kind of, so you go through the onion field and the bananas, and you go, I mean, that's just Panama.
That's totally how it is here.
About these places, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like, I mean, they're just like Disney movies, you're just like, wow. And I'm discovering this. This is the first time I discovered these places. I've been here 3 years. Anyway.
Well, as we talk, let's answer some of the guests' questions. So if you got any questions specifically about this area, Nuevo Gorgona, please ask him. And I have one here from Cordia. Is this live or recording? I can't tell. Hi, Cordia. So
It is live.
Yeah, it is live. Okay, someone's asking, what are your high temps in the what is the warmest temperatures in that area during the year?
All right. I tell people on my tour that come through my condo and check out what you can get for, $1,200 a month, ocean fronts, and I say, look at that thermometer. That thermometer, I'll go out there right now on my balcony and it will say 80 degrees. And it says 80 degrees when it's nighttime. It'll say 80 degrees during the day. We have a breeze. We have a breeze that comes straight through the backside of my condo are mountains. So if you want a mountain view, you can go in the back. If you want an ocean view, we're straight on the ocean. There's always an ocean breeze, which it can get in the 90s, but those days are when there's no breeze and you kind of feel it kind of hot. And I swear I'm putting on a sweater or something to wear when it's 76 or 77 degrees. And that was mostly like last month, a few times.
Yeah, it was cooler everywhere last month.
It is the same temperature. The water temperature is, I don't even think about it. I hate cold water. And I always think of the Pacific as being, freezing, but it's not. It's very, very swimmable all the year, the whole time. I was done with cold. Done.
So what floor are you on again?
We're on the 14th floor.
14th.
There's
that's
15
right.
floors in our condo. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I don't know why in this system the names are so tiny I can't read them. Sabrina, possibly. Good question. Is buying the only option, or what are the rental options? Why don't you give us an idea, since you know so many people there? What is the range of price? Because you guys rent. What is the range of price that you can get for rentals in that area in a nice high-rise apartment? Where does it start from? Where does it go to?
I'm saying like a 1-bedroom for $900 a month in Royal Palm over there, like 2 condos away. I'm hearing ranges of $1,200 to $1,600 for 2-3 bedroom. And it's seasonal because now the Canadians and lots of influx of the snowbirds are here. So it's going to be more expensive for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months that they're here. But if you do a full year lease, then you can get it down. I started it was advertised I have a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, front to back, condo, and only 2 condos to a floor here. It's more private where we are. And it was advertised at $1,500 and we paid $1,400, in November. It's the start of the season for the influx of people. And because after 6 months, we signed a year lease and we got it down because we said, hey, we'll be the property owners too. So you do a lot of negotiating with your owners. I have the most fantastic owners. And that's pretty much the range. Each place is going to have different amenities. Some have pools and gyms and several pools or lap pools and entertainment or restaurants right in the condo. So, your tour helped me see some of these places. I mean, the views blew my mind and what you could get for that. I mean, you cannot even touch that in the States for the view that I have. You can't touch it for under $1,500. Just can't. And it has remained that way. The price hasn't skyrocketed or anything like that. So we're very blessed right now.
And the amount of freedom you also have on the beach. You can walk your dogs. You can pretty much do anything.
There's hardly anybody on the beach. I mean, people will come on a Saturday for the tour and they're like, well, what's it like? I'm like, this is the weekend, people. There is hardly anybody. There might be a few more Panamanians that come and have fun during the day. But during the week, there's like nobody. And I have the beach to myself at sunrise. It's
perfect.
How beautiful.
Every day.
Yeah. Where's the next question?
Well, Gordon says something about Mary Ellen in the Playa community.
She's in Gorgona on Playa Coronado.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
pretty much Nueva Gorgona, right before Coronado.
You
Uh-huh.
can
Yeah,
see
that
Coronado. Like
picture,
you showed me
that
yeah.
picture of from my balcony is basically Coronado, and we're like Nueva Gorgona. We're like the end of all of the condos.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
so Coronado has golf, it has, you know, tennis and a lot more sports going on, but it's just, you know, 12, 15 minutes down the road.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a few restaurants, some mini markets, and then you guys all kind of shop at the same major plazas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, do you know about this, Oscar?
The international school that she was mentioning, it's a small school. It's international because they do bilingual. That's why they call it international. But it's quite small. It's very quaint. Let's put it that way. It actually got a little bit expanded, but there is very small amount of students. I probably will say like what, less than 100 students probably in that school.
No, I think they grew to like 150. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all grades. They have both sides of the road. You know, the high school's on like one side, and
Okay.
and, you know, they kind of have it situated like that. Yeah, that's PCIS is the name of it, and I'm like, that's the acronyms because I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay, Cynthia, I think we answered your question on long-term rentals and prices. Dominic, they're asking, are there white sandy beaches? What are the beaches like? Can you describe the beach?
Which day? Because
Uh-huh.
you know, the sand will switch from black to white, and some days it's black. Mostly in the Coronado area, it's a lot more black sand than the white sand, but the white sand will come, and then when the white sand comes, you see all the little crab holes of black sand, you know, that there's black sand underneath there, and the crabs have dug it out. But I think from in front of my place, it's mostly white sand. It's not white. I mean, I know people really talk about the color of sand.
Yeah.
It's not white, but it certainly is Florida kind of color sand.
Yeah, there's a lot of color, but in the Pacific mostly is volcanic sediment. So there is all with the tides. The tides sometimes change. Depends if it's a really strong tide, it will change the layer, the superficial layer of the sand.
Because the black sand is actually quite pretty. It's very
pretty.
Sparkly.
It just sparkles. Yeah, it is hot on your feet. I will say that.
Yes, it's hotter on your feet for sure.
Some of the things, just for everybody to know, I think you need to temper stuff with stuff you don't like about the area as far as a question. I don't know if anybody's going to ask that question, but I think it's really good to get a feel for, okay, what do you not like about the area? What is it that that you complain about, maybe, right? And do you want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the potholes are one. You know, why they can't fix the road is in Coronado and in Nuevo Gorgona. Just why are there so many potholes? And I think traffic is different. Now, some people love the traffic, but taxis and getting around town, I don't understand. It's just it's an international, it's a cultural thing, you know? I mean, that Oscar guy, he knows how to get around a traffic jam big time. He makes his own lane and he just goes. And
I call that the pushy.
Yeah, exactly. You know how to do that.
Hey, Mary Ellen, would you tell us what your average monthly electrical bill is?
$53.
And you don't use air conditioning much, though, do you?
Only in our bedroom at night.
Okay.
That's the only time we use it. Now, one guy, we left for a month, and he didn't use air conditioning at night. He liked the breeze coming through, and our bill was like 10.
Yeah. So if you're a heavy air conditioner like I would be,
okay, around 250.
Probably the highest would be 150, 200, eh?
Yeah, 2 to 250 is what a friend of mine, he air conditions all the time. So he pays around 250.
Yeah.
But you don't need to if you get acclimated.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question people always have. Did you buy a car when you moved to Panama?
I was recommended not to bring a car. And yes, we bought a car. We actually rented a car for a month because we wanted to take our time and not have to worry about that and look around and figure out what we wanted. And the guy who does rentals had this a Toyota Fortuner that we use, an SUV, and I really suggest getting an SUV. It, I don't care if you have your little favorite car at home. It's really prudent to get one here. And
Yeah,
so
buy
we
here.
bought it. We
Yeah.
bought the one that we rented. Actually, he sold it to us, and we loved it. I mean, especially going to that waterfall today. I was using my SUV, and I'm like, yeah, and the
That's a good
potholes
car.
are up higher. It's
Yeah.
so practical. I mean, we could
Yeah.
stuff that thing. We have pickleball stuff in the back of it all the time. I mean,
Okay.
I highly suggest. Plus, just getting anything fixed. It's Toyota parts, and they're specific to like Panama. And yes, you can get all different kinds of cars, but get the ones that are typically here, and then you can get your car fixed for a lot cheaper and a lot faster.
There we go. One final question before our time with Mary Ellen is over. What do you know about the public transit system there? Maybe you have some friends that don't have cars. How do they get along?
Right. They're number one taxis. So you kind of get your favorite taxi driver, and they'll come around and pick you up, take you to grocery shopping or whatever. But there is also I have a gecko right outside my window right here, 14 floors up, guys. And you can also get a bus around the corner. You just walk down to the corner, and a bus will take you all the way up. I took a bus all the way up to El Valle one time and back. I have not taken any buses into Panama City yet, but people do it all the time. You know, go to the Albrook Mall, and from there you can get an Uber in the city or taxis in the city. That's how a lot of people do it.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty well. Panama's pretty public transit friendly.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you learn a few Spanish phrases,
Yep.
that's it. Well,
Yeah.
Mary Ellen, thank you very much
so
for joining us. Say hi to Bill for us.
I will.
And
Thank you guys. I love you guys.
Yeah,
I really do.
enjoy.
They're my
Yeah.
family here. They
There we
really are.
go.
And I couldn't have done it without you,
Mm,
especially
well,
when
thank
I
you.
was trying to get here. So thank you.
Thank you very
You're
much
so
for joining
welcome.
us, taking the time, and great questions, people. And we're gonna anyone who asks a question not about that area, you're gonna have to ask it again. So right now, Mike and Martha are going to join us, and they're just a few miles away from
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen.
Yeah, they actually are in a precise.
I think that one picture would show their house.
Yep.
So, Mike and Martha, connect, please. And we're moving on to Coronado, which probably, I don't know, but there's kind of like a little fight system. Which is the most popular expat community, Boquete or Coronado?
Coronado.
It's either either.
Yeah, and Mike is right in the middle of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking good, guys. Looking good.
It's nice to be seen. Thanks for having us.
Why they here? Yeah.
All right. So, how long you guys been here in Panama?
15 years, going on
15
16.
years.
Yeah,
15.
Wow.
That's longer than us. How's that possible? What tour were they
I
on?
don't know.
Oh,
Plan was only 2.5 years, and here we still are.
yeah.
Wow. And guys, why Panama? What was that thing that is like, we should go check out Panama? Like, how that happened?
Well, we looked at a lot of countries before we selected Panama. I think for a lot of reasons, it was really just the most palatable country for a North American palate. Didn't take too, it wasn't like going all the way to Vietnam, nothing against Vietnam. It was the US dollar coming from San Diego. We'd heard Spanish before. But really the big difference was the economic engine that Panama has, where the other Latin countries really didn't have an economic driver like the canal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how you guys end up in the location? Like you guys pretty much were spending more time in Coronado, so I'm assuming that you guys land in Coronado, right?
Well, we land in Panama City, yeah. And then we have a home in Coronado, and we have a home in Boquete, and go back
Yeah.
and forth every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you do.
But the
Martika,
original plan-
yeah, but Martika loves the beach more.
Yeah, our original plan was Boquete, but then with the recession and everything in 2007, 2008, we just
Oh,
kind of said, well, and I'm a beach person. So I like the hot heat. You got to like the heat, being at the beach, which I'm sure Mary Ellen would attest to as well.
yeah,
So, and we had just, we gave our friends kind of qualifications of what we were looking for. And we said, well, if we find A, B, C, and D, then call us. And they did. Anyways, there was a house that was ready to come on the market. And they said, it's on the golf course. It's in Coronado. It's under 250. And we're like, all right, let's do it. So we actually bought it sight unseen, just recommendations with our friends. So that was, so we said, well, let's just do it. So it ended up working out. The house was sitting empty for about a year and a half. A couple
wow,
owned it, and unfortunately, one of them was ill, and so they
Yeah.
went back to the States. I think New York area, something like that. So,
Mhm.
and then, anyways, he had passed away. So she just wanted to sell. So it took us a while. It took us about, I think, from the time we made our offer and closed, it was almost 8 months.
Yeah, wow.
We were okay with that. It's like, okay. And a few times we were ready to throw in the towel, and we're like, no, let's just wait it out. It was a really cute house, and it's a nice little house. We enjoy it. Well, it's not
It's a
really
beautiful house.
So this is where Mike spends most of his time, though, not in the house.
That's your back patio, right, Mike?
in the pool.
No.
Put it in the pool.
Yeah, the golf course, I spend a fair bit of time on the golf course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
What is so you guys? What is the besides? I know, Martha, you're quite busy because you run a very successful property management and also with the real estate, and so is Mike. But what is besides that? What is the daily life like in Coronado?
Well, for me anyway, I don't know. I love just waking up to the warmth and then hearing the birds, and we've got a couple of dogs, so we spend time with them, and we're on the golf course, and kind of nice. I go play pickleball. I just go out my back gate in my little golf cart, and you cruise around. You can go to there's a yoga class there. There's at the club, and also we play golf. So it's just nice to just go out the back and play a round of golf. And so, but if I do work, that's just when I have some free time.
Yeah,
work. Come
Property
on.
management keeps me very busy.
Yeah, this is all retired stuff. What do you mean you work?
Well, I try to retire. I mean,
That
not,
was the plan,
just
right?
like in bits and pieces whenever I can. So,
Really, when we came to Panama, we were both retired.
yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's why, like, I wanted to bring that up, guys, because so many different types of people moved to Panama. And on this call, we have retired people, we have single people, we have married people, we have people that are still possibly in income producing years. Or you were retired. What happened? What did you do?
For me, I don't want to, we played a lot of golf and tennis.
Yeah.
And then I found myself saying, what day of the week is it? What month are we in? And anyways, for me, I'm just like, okay, I got to do something to keep busy. And there was a lady that had a property management company. She was a Canadian, and she was moving back to Canada. So she had said, hey, are you interested? I'm like, well, what does this entail? So it was only a few places at that time. So I said, sure, why not? I needed to keep busy. I wanted my mind to keep busy. So, you just find things that are needed. And maybe back then it was a little bit easier than it is now, but it still is. You just kind of find the need, and then you just kind of find your niche. And that's what I did. And, years later, was it 2010, 13 years later, I'm still working in property management, and it keeps me very busy. And whenever there's some units that sell, there always seems to be a couple more that end up landing on my lap. So it's constantly changing, and I meet some amazing people And it's nice. I think you find it, like Marilyn was telling, it's like you find different stories, and my days are never the same. So that's what I enjoy.
That's beautiful.
So, Mike, you came here retired, and now you probably own one of the largest, well, you do, one of the largest real estate companies in Panama. So how did that happen? So
I think it was a combination of, being a little bored. I wasn't prepared for not knowing how to fill my days. I was used to working. I was a mortgage banker, and I owned a real estate company in San Diego. So I was always busy. So when I came to Panama, I was a little at odds with playing golf every single day. So I just really started looking around, for opportunities. And that's really the thing about Panama. There's nothing but opportunities. As long as you are able to find some sort of a service that you can provide, and you're happy doing it, there's nothing but opportunities, really. So it just kind of evolved. You would, rather than take the opportunity to reinvent myself, I ended up going back doing what I'd been doing for 25 years, but it's worked out phenomenally. I'm hardly retired now. We serve 7 locations. So, I'm one into the country to the other.
Cool. We can start doing questions already, guys. I don't know.
We have some questions on the chat for sure.
Is there only one airport in the country of Panama?
No.
Incoming. Technically, for most people, yes. It's called Tucumán Airport. For Canadians, we have Rio Hato and Tucumán. That is a challenge that people who live in Coronado and Nuevo Gorgona have. Once you land in Tucumán Airport, you're still an hour and a half, 2 hours away. How do they get there? Like, how do you guys make transport back and forth?
Well, we typically have a driver pick us up and take us home. But before that, we would just drive ourselves. The issue is, for how long are you going to be gone? So if we take off for a couple of weeks, then we don't want to leave the car at the airport. So we'll have somebody drive us in and drive us back out. But it's really, it's a non-issue. Even when we lived in San Diego, it would take an hour to drive to the airport in San Diego, or to go to Los Angeles. It was even longer. So it's really not that big of a deal.
And if people are coming to the Coronado to look at condos for rent, or coming for 3 months, 6 months, they'll have to find some type of a private transport. There is no shuttle service, which there should be, really.
Well, of course, there's plenty of people that offer the service, and we like you, we can pretty much help somebody with virtually anything they need. Somebody like you guys that have a full concierge service, that's even further than we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys find, like, what's the single life? Yeah, I know you're not single, but you see them all around you. Are there a lot of single retired folks in Coronado?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. And, it's really nice because they all kind of hang together and they support each other, and they're always watching out for each other. Because we don't come with many of us that are retired and older, we're not coming with our families. I mean, some people do, but for the most part, they don't. So you meet people with your, same likes. Everybody keeps an eye out. There's a big support. You put yourself out there, you take care of somebody, and then they take care of you. And, somebody's going to the doctor. Okay. So a few of them will go, or, somebody needs help. Car doesn't work. No problem. Somebody maybe doesn't have a car. You need to go to the store, or they do a little drive to Price Mart, which is the sister company of Costco, not that far away, maybe 45, 50-minute drive. Everybody goes together, and it's just a big support, a lot of support there.
There are a lot of activities for single people, though. I think maybe that's what you're getting at, but there's nothing but activities for people, whether they're single or not. But certainly single people have lots and lots of opportunities to meet other single people. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They have trivia. There's Spay the Strays. A lot of people involved in that. The orphanages, people making things for the needy families, holidays, help out the people in the interior that really need assistance, with food and things like that. There's cards. There's card games. There's music. I think there's doing some salsa dancing, or there's aqua
Endless.
aerobics. There's, you just have to,
We'll
you
try
have to
that.
seek it out.
That kind of ties into the next question: is it safe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've never felt unsafe or at risk in any way. And of course, I've been every inch of this country, and I've never felt uncomfortable or threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but you still use your smarts like you would anywhere else. You don't check in your brain at the border when you land, because you're in paradise. But you're always looking out. You don't pull out a wad of money when you're somewhere. I mean, it's stuff that you wouldn't do anywhere else. So it's not in that respect.
It's just kind of handle. I mean, the normal common sense and the street smart skills. That's it.
That's pretty much it, Oscar.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the other question, Roddy?
Do you have to learn a lot of Spanish living there?
No.
Sí, claro que sí. Necesitas español. No.
Yeah. Now your turn, Mike.
Well, actually, to answer the question, no. I'm embarrassed to say if after 15 years I haven't mastered Spanish, not even close. So
cheers to that.
I guess it's good news and bad news, right? It's a testament that it's not necessary. I have the largest real estate in the country, and I don't speak Spanish, which is embarrassing to say, frankly.
Yeah.
But it also means that it wasn't crucial. I get by very, very well.
And you have Martha.
And I have Martha.
Okay. You got Martha. You got your staff. They all get you by.
That's right.
Yeah. And English, like Mike was saying, English is quite widespread. I think widespread is kind of overrated term, but you can get by in Coronado.
I think that again, we're in the service business, and most of the people that we're providing service to are North Americans or Europeans, because when they get here, they have the same issue with language, so they're looking for somebody that speaks their language. So I would have to say that most of our clients speak English, and the ones that don't are better educated, so they typically speak multiple languages.
Mm-hmm.
In those classes, people are always looking to learn Spanish, and people, the locals are very willing to help. If you're willing to kind of learn, they assist you in that. They're very, very kind in wanting to help you. It's just sometimes, if you walk into a place that has no English, you can't demand something because you leave people, on their heels. So you kind of have to be a little sensitive to that. Not every, you have to give it a try. You have to work at it, and then people are willing to help.
Right on. Okay, well, thank you guys a lot for sharing. And just so you guys know, this is not Mike and Martha are close friends of ours. We hang out all the time. So it's just, no, they never came on our tour. We didn't bring them here. We didn't help them come here. They were here before us, but they are the most knowledgeable people on Coronado. That's why we have it. And they will. And if you're looking for the rental, Martha's got rentals in Coronado. Like she has, what do you have, 50, 75, somewhere around there?
Not that many, but we do have a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I know you don't have that many available. So, yeah, like she does property. She has a property management company there, and you're still looking at coming down this year. She'll be a good contact to use. So they agreed in the follow-up email that I can give their phone numbers to you guys. So you can reach out to them if there's anything in Coronado you need.
And a beautiful team they have too.
Yeah, they also got spare rooms in their homes that they can. They'll be happy to have you aboard. No, just kidding. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We're going to move on to.
Thanks for having us.
Azuero Pennensula.
Thank you guys. Lovely to see you. Looking beautiful.
Always fun to see you.
Yes. Okay, Donna, you can join us. And yes, folks, you in the follow-up email that comes out every morning after one of these calls, you'll have their direct phone numbers. We're moving to the Azuero
Hi there.
Peninsula. Am I saying that right?
Azuero Pennensula. Yes, sir.
For like 8 years, I said it wrong. Azuero. So I'm saying
Yes.
it right. And Donna is in El Rompio. El
Perfect.
Rompio, which is
Yes.
just outside of Chitre, which is the hub of the Azuero Peninsula.
One of the most popular expat beaches near Chitre, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
It's pretty rural compared to Coronado or Nuevo Gorgona, but Rompio and then further south to Uvarito. Uvarito, I think, is even more has even more expats living at it. But yeah, it's a really neat area.
It's in a nice area for sure.
So do you want to give us a little background first before you tell us more about Rompio, how you ended up in Panama and on tour with us?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. I was getting close to retirement, like within 5 years, and I was considering, I wanted some adventure. I wanted to travel. And I spoke with a family member who had lived in South America and Latin America. And she was like, let's check out Panama. It's American dollar. They drive on the same side of the road. You know, a good middle class, things like that. The word was practical. She said it's practical.
Yeah.
So we vacationed down in Panama like 3 different times, and I loved it. I just really loved what I was seeing in. We went to Coronado and Pennensula and Boquete, Isla to some of the islands, and what I realized is that I really did not know what I needed to do in order to make the move. I mean, what I knew then is I wanted to move, but I didn't know how. So I researched and found your tour, and going on your tour was gave me the information and the contacts that I needed. And so when the time was right, I was able to make the move. There we go. We've got
Yeah.
right
So
to
guys, yeah, this is where Donna is right now. It's a
Yes.
it's a 4-hour drive, and it's before you get to Pennensula, which is way down
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes.
So for those of you guys, and she's beachfront. We're going to show you some pictures in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
So when I first moved to Panama, it was right after they opened the airport. When they had closed the airport because of the pandemic. And so in October of 2020, they opened Tucumán, and I was ready at that point. I took the tour with you guys in January of 2020. So I had some time there to get myself ready. And
I remember during pandemic doing some video calls with you, getting ready.
Yes. That was very helpful. But when I first moved, I moved to Boquete, and Boquete for me was a very good place to start and just get set up with getting my visa through the attorney. I met a real estate person while on their tour, and so I was able to find a rental even before I left the United States. I was set. So I got my bank account, I got my car. Thank you, Oscar. And then after about 8 months, I'm from the Midwest, landlocked state in the United States, and I decided let's go check out living on a beach. And I had met a couple on the tour that lived in Pennensula. Yeah, they had moved to Playa El Rompio, and we took a tour to Colombia, and they were on that tour to Colombia. So I met them again. They invited me to Rompio, and with that visit, I found this condo that I'm in, and there we go. Very low tide, very low tide. I love walking the beach at low tide because you're walking the floor of the ocean, and you can go. Yeah. It's shallow slope, and you can just go out so far. it's just wonderful to me. And there was some discussion about black sand or white sand. This is closer to white sand. It's beige, but it's real smooth and fine grained. And so your feet, you're good. It's good on your feet. There's no problems, with sharpness and that kind of thing. This is
easy on your feet.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is the condominiums where I live. Mine is actually off camera right there, but there's the pool. It's huge.
How far is this from the beach?
3 minutes. Just
Yeah.
3 minutes. I go through a gate and through a lot, and then I'm on the beach.
Like 3-minute walk. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
I'm so
And-
sorry you have such a small pool to swim.
Cool.
Like, can
Yeah.
you even do a lap? Can you even?
Oh
like,
yes, you can. Yes, you can definitely do laps. That's in part why I chose this place.
That looks so stressful. That looks so stressful on an afternoon or a Sunday. Just relax there.
Yeah, and it's a saltwater pool, which makes it
Oh,
really nice. You can tell a difference when you're swimming in a chlorine pool. This one's got just a little bit of buoyancy to it.
Nice.
You can just tell
That's
that
awesome.
difference.
So what does a day in Playa El Rompio look like?
Okay. I like to wake up early and so get up, put on a beach dress, go walk the beach. Sometimes I go and grab a neighbor's dog and we go out there, usually meet up with a neighbor for coffee and then come back in and, little yoga, things like that.
Nice.
I sew. I am retired, and I sew. I read. I socialize a fair amount. It's not real exciting. I can tell you that it's there aren't quite as many planned activities like in the Coronado area, but it's good for my speed. How I operate. It's really I like it here quite a bit, and it's an easy drive to go south to get to Las Tablas, for certain things that I have found there for fabric or groceries or whatever. And then an easy drive to get to Chitre if I go to the north. And every Thursday in Chitre, there's a expat gathering. And sometimes there'll be 30 plus people at that expat gathering. And so there's definitely opportunities to socialize and meet people. And it's a mix of couples and singles. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Perfect. So Las Tablas and Chitre is where you go do your shopping. What kind of amenities and medical care, those types of things, what's available to you there?
Okay. It's good when you make connections in the expat community. So some people they come here and they are very good at developing relationships with Panamanians. And it isn't necessarily that they have much stronger Spanish, but that does help. And then others are more, within the expat community. And I'm trying to bridge that gap. And so I have some Panamanian friends. I was very fortunate to find a Buddhist group that I go to. I'm a longtime Buddhist. And so in that group, it's all Panamanian. And I am finding out about places to see and go and shop and get information from my friendships I'm developing there. And then within the expat community, there's always like, who's a doctor that, is an ophthalmologist, and who's a doctor that does dermatology, and you just on the WhatsApp groups, I make lists when I find information in that regard. About the medical side of things, having gone through a little bit here, it's a different experience than the medical side in the United States. I mean, if you go in for an ultrasound, that technician
is sometimes the doctor, and she's talking to you and she's telling you what she sees. And that's, in the States, you go in and they're like zip lip. They do not say a word to you. Here, there it's very much
Personal.
Yeah, personal, and it's more well-being centered. A lot of times in the States, with a doctor's visit, they're typing on their laptop the whole time. They'll ask you a question, then they type. Well, this is much more hands-on and personal, and good care. Very, very competent and good care. There's a gentleman right now who's he just had emergency surgery for a strangulated hernia 2 days ago. And the expat community, this is like through the WhatsApp group, they came in, there were women, there were people there that spoke Spanish that went in and helped. He's in one of the public hospitals, and they're gathering around the wife and helping her just take care of things. It's and she's been sending information back that he's doing very well, and the surgeon was competent and is calling and checking and making sure that he's well taken care of. He's going to be there for just a few more days. It wasn't it was not an overnight situation, but those things are the resources are here in this country to find good care.
We got people asking, like, what they saw a picture of your condo building, so we got to ask, what is the cost? What is the low end and the high end of the rent in a building like that?
Okay. Well, all of these condos are individually owned. My owner lives in the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa. So she contracts with a real estate agent, and that's who I work with, is the real estate agent who lives outside of El Valle. And so I have a 2-bedroom condo. Each bedroom has a shower bath, and downstairs there's a half bath, and then there's a maid's quarter, so it has a bath and laundry. It's $800 a month. So other owners for the same floor plan may charge more. I don't know exactly. I'd say between $800 to $1,000 for this set of condominiums.
Who wants to move to the beach for $800 a month? Woohoo! That's a nice place.
That is a bargain for that location.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living in Azuero.
Yeah, huge benefit for sure.
Okay.
Good for you, Donna.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. It was wonderful. And Donna, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see Donna's cell phone number scrolling if you want to just pray.
Right.
Hey, are we seeing you on Saturday or Friday?
Absolutely.
You're coming up for the Christmas party.
Absolutely. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Love you, Donna.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
All righty.
Come on, Dave and Bridget. Boquete, here we come. Hey, guys, we are having our very first annual year-end party. We officially, the 100th person that had come on our tour moved here last week, and 100 people in Panama across, and we're throwing a big party on Friday. You guys coming?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Our very first tour, our very first people to buy a tour from us. Yeah. So right on.
Yeah.
Dave and Bridget
we're on the very first tour with Mariano and Bill.
Yeah, with Bill and Mary Ellen, the other.
Yeah. So for us, it was almost a private tour, for their first run, and we had them, Megan and Oscar and all to ourselves on the road, and Rod came for a couple of the places. It was really good to see the country, and so I picked it out. Bridget and I knew that we wanted to retire somewhere in Central America, and we spent 3 trips, 3 summers, going to different places in Costa Rica. Lovely country. Infrastructure's not as great as here. I checked out Belize. That was a big zero. They don't have any infrastructure. And so I was looking for a way to see more of Panama other than just coming for 2 weeks and dragging it out. And I found a couple of the tours. One of them was a big tour. And then I found this one. It was small, more intimate. And I just felt like that would be better than, being on a big tour. And so I signed up for it, and Bridget was still working. And so I was going to take the tour and take notes. And then her work situation changed. And so she came, and we spent a week with these guys. We're from Seattle. We actually lived in the city of Seattle. And so we thought Panama City's for us. And we spent 3 days in Panama City. We're like, yeah, no, this is not for us. It's a beautiful city, but it's really hot. It's really crowded. I've driven in Europe, but I would not like to drive in Panama City. And COVID happened. And so we got trapped in the US. And like Donna, we came as soon as the borders opened. In fact, Donna and Bridget and I moved into the same complex where we're still living. That was where Donna lived first. And so we were in Seattle, where it's dark and cold in the winter. And I looked at Bridget, I'm like, we can stay here in the dark and cold and wait on vaccine, or sit on the side of a mountain in Panama. Hey, here we are.
Yeah, at first, because from Seattle, all of our vacations were to a beach somewhere. So at first we thought the beach is absolutely for us. That's what we were planning for. The views are amazing. But then we realized we've lived 25 years in Seattle and we're not used to the heat. And so we love Boquete because it's cool. But then within a couple of hours, we can be at the beach, and it's close enough we can go spend the day and take a boat trip out to an island and a private beach, and then come back to Boquete by dinner time. So it's the best of both worlds for us.
Yeah, you guys have explored a lot of the beaches and islands here.
Yeah, we've one of the things that stood out about Boquete, besides the temperate weather, it's 63 degrees right now. And we're an hour and a half from the beach for the Pacific. We're 4 hours from the Caribbean. During COVID, we rented a house on the Caribbean side at Boca del Toros for a week. And, if you're going to be quarantined somewhere, might as well be on the ocean. And it was like $107 a day. We were on a house that was on pilings about 100 feet offshore. We'd walk out in the morning and look over the deck into the water 20 feet down. You can see all the way to the bottom. It's just lovely.
Yeah, we should know that Dave and Bridget are up in Jaramillo and Boquete, so it's a little bit cooler up there.
Cooler than downtown Boquete,
Yeah, we're in downtown right now.
Yeah.
So
you can fly from Panama City, as you see on the map here, or you can take this lovely 7-hour drive.
No. Why?
I still like doing the drive. Or then you can move and live up with Dave and Bridget in their lovely home. That's what they look at every day.
Now. And the Jaramillo is beautiful. It's up high. We're at about 4,300 feet. And from that deck, we can see the ocean. The ocean's only 39 miles line of sight away. And on a clear day, we can see the ocean. And Megan, what do you call the road to our house?
I don't know. What did I say? A death trap?
You called it the scary road.
The scary road.
Yeah, there are a few death traps on that road.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful. That is really the only deterrent for Jaramillo is you have to be very careful driving, especially at night. It's a windy, dark road.
Yeah, you gotta be patient. Driving, take your time. Driving at nighttime for sure, especially at nighttime.
So Boquete, like what amenities does Boquete have that you don't have to go to David for? Like how many times, if you live here, how many times a month do you have to go all the way to the city?
We might go to David once a month or every other month. There's a Price Mart there, so we'll go buy paper products. If there's something that we need that's not in Boquete, so grocery shopping here is great. We have 2 or 3 grocery stores. We just got a really nice liquor store here, Moto, really high end wine and liquor store here. So there's not a lot. I mean, David's the hottest place on earth. So if we
You're
go
not
to
wrong on that.
yeah,
You're actually right in Central America, at least.
yeah. If we go to David, we go early in the morning and get back. But right now we're in the process of building a house. So we probably made more trips to David in the last 3 months than we have in the 2 years we've been here, just because we're going to pick out tile and pick out faucets and whatever else we have to pick out for the house. Lights.
So you're moving from one side of Boquete to virtually like the other side.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're about the same distance from town. So tell us about, like, you rented for 3 months here. No, sorry, almost 3 years here, right?
2 years.
2 years.
It'll be, well, it's this December. So it's a little over 2 years. October's when we got here.
And you decided that you wanted a different view. This is where you're at right now. Actually, you're a little farther. This is last month.
No, that's where we're moving.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's a little farther ahead than this now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's orange on the outside.
Yeah, it's orange.
So
you built yourself a house. You decided to buy property and build a house. Tell us
He
that
didn't
story.
build it himself.
Yeah, I know
He's
that.
paying somebody else to build it.
Well, with the pictures I've seen, I think Bridget built it. She does all the work. on the
Bridget is
property.
doing all the
If there was
work.
any
He just
building,
take
it was
he just
Bridget.
take the picture and shows the color of the house. That's it. That's all he does.
All right. You want me to talk or you want to talk?
Go ahead, Dan.
So we've always lived in a condo, and I like the condo living because you can lock the door and walk away and not worry about it. That's what we did when we came here for 6 months from Seattle. We locked the door. I mean, it's on the 4th floor. So we locked the door and gave the keys to a friend for 6 months. And that's really what we were looking for, so that we could travel. And by the time we sold our condo in Seattle and got the money down here, we couldn't really find anything like tripped all the triggers for us. I mean, we're buying the probably last home for us. And we want it to be perfect. And so about Christmas time last year, we started driving around, looking at property, just finding things. And we found this 5,000 meters of property. And it was almost perfect. It's got 2,500 meters are flat and about 2,500 meters are ski slope without snow. It's quite steep, runs down the mountainside, and then right below that's a cliff into the valley. So there'll never be anybody in front of us. We look directly east. So that view right there is looking directly east. So we'll have morning sun. And then when it's warmer in the afternoon, which it will be because it's a little bit lower, it's about 3,600 feet than we are in Jaramillo. But it's a beautiful area. All the neighbors are Panamanians. I think we're the only North Americans on the road. It's a dead end road. So it's, we're really happy about it. It's almost done. Windows go in this week, finish the tile.
Can't wait for that one.
A fun adventure.
Yeah. So happy for you guys.
So obviously, like, you're in Boquete, you stayed in Boquete. What is the number one reason why you stayed in Boquete and didn't try somewhere else in Panama? What would you say is number one thing that keeps you here?
I think it's the endless opportunities of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're both retired, and before we got here, we knew that if we just sat around, that would not make us happy. So we picked out 2 or 3 things, that organizations we wanted to help, and got here and started volunteering right away. And of course, we found out that there's 10,000 more things you can do. And so we're involved with the animal groups, the Amigos de Animales, the Los Meninos Cat Sanctuary, but there's also dog camp and
Pickleball.
Pickleball,
Yeah.
yes. I'm going to say to Mary Ellen, you're not the center of the world for pickleball. We have pickleball.
I'm not the only one, me and Mary Ellen.
Yeah. And then
she
Dave's involved with the Rotary of Boquete and the Boquete Health and Hospice Group. And we also got involved with an organization that saves old vegetables and cuts them up and provides them to the school for the kids' lunches. And so we're just finding endless things to get involved in. There's hiking groups here. There's pickleball. There's Tai Chi. There's yoga. Boquete has a great spa, the Haven Spa. for like massages that are as good as any in the US. And so I was surprised for what I consider a small town compared to Seattle, how much is here and how much there is to do and how welcoming the community is. But
Yeah.
Brad says, can you move to Panama if you
Yeah.
don't want to play pickleball? Yes, Brad, you don't have to play
Yeah,
pickleball.
I saw Brad's comment. Sorry, Brad. I'm going to blacklist you out of the meeting here.
And
Just kidding.
Renee, I'm sorry. Part of Boquete we're building is Palmyra Abajo. So it's Upper Palmyra.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
We have some questions.
Basic any Boquete question. There's some general questions. I'm going to tell you guys how I'm going to handle those shortly here because this is part 1 of the Meet the Expats group. Part 2, the date's still going to be announced. It's in the beginning of January. Will be Bocas del Toro, Porto Amulas, and Petitsi.
Nice.
And we have special guest speakers from each one of those areas. So any last minute questions on Boquete? Brad Clark ignoring you. No.
I would just say that if you're thinking about looking at the country, this truly is the tour to take. You get to spend time everywhere. Oscar's very entertaining. Besides the fact that he speaks the language, that's also helpful. But he's very entertaining. He knows how to get out of a speeding ticket. So really, it is a really good tour. Cost of a two-bath condo in Boquete. Two-bath condo in Boquete can run from 1,000 to 2,000, depending on where
1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah, it depends on location and if it's a gated community or not. Yeah.
Small houses start at 500-600.
Yep.
So it all depends what you're looking for.
Where you are now.
So the community we're in now is Boquete Cottages, and they built it mainly as a landing pad, and it's on the tour. So if you come on the tour, you'll get to see our place while we're still here. And they run from about 900 to about 1,800, depending on what the size is. But the good part of that number is that's everything. The place is furnished. There's a TV, there's internet, washer dryer. They change the gas tanks, take out your trash, keep the place neat and tidy. It looks like a little park in here. So, if you just want to land somewhere and kind of get your feet on the ground, Boquete Cottage is a really nice place if you can get on the list. Pretty much somebody moves out, somebody moves in. Did we ship belongings? No, we dumped everything in Seattle. We gave away, sold, threw away everything in our condo, and we shipped 5 cardboard boxes, mostly cookbooks.
Yeah, if you want more information, if you're thinking about shipping, Sharon, guys, I have just put in the chat our contact information for anything that we don't cover today. Just fill out that contact form. We will get you an answer. People ask, is Boquete the best place for single expat? I don't know if it's the best, but Boquete's good for singles. Coronado is good for singles. Panama City is. It all depends what you're looking for. Weather.
Yep.
How active, how party.
Yeah, there are a lot of singles here. And I think one of the things, it's a positive and negative about Boquete. It's a tourist town. This is the Napa Valley of coffee. If you think of fine wine, fine coffee is from here. The most expensive coffee in the world comes from Boquete. But right now is tourist season. So there's a lot going on. We have starting in November, we have parades like every other day, fireworks all the time. So there's just a lot going on this time of year.
Right on.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of party coming up soon.
Yes.
Well, again, guys, thank you for joining, and your cell phone numbers have been included in the after email, so people can ask all the personal questions. And there's a pin to your location, so we know how to find you. Just kidding.
Yeah, and we can show you where the pickleball courts are. So
yeah,
Mariel, when you guys come back, bring your rackets.
I think Oscar and I should start with the pickleball stuff too.
You should.
To get us involved with that. So any of the other presenters want to come back on for the last hurrah? just hit your mic, and we're going to say good night to everybody on here. This Q&A was for questions. I'm going to address the questions. Did I just hit something?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
You crashed it.
Nope, someone else is sharing the screen. Do you mind turning the screen sharing off, please? There we go. Somebody hit the wrong button. I'm going to go through the chat tonight, and if there's any questions that weren't specific to this call, I'm going to answer them in a general email that's going to go out to everyone who is on this call tomorrow. So that's my job for tomorrow morning. Yes. So you will get your questions answered. Thank you for joining. Thank you all you folks for
thank you guys
spending some time and to
See you
learn
guys at the
about
party.
Bocas del Toro, Petitee, and Puerto Milas.
Yeah.
Join us in January. I'll get you the date shortly.
Kitty.
Chris, right?
Yeah, that's Chris.
I'll send some information about shipping stuff, guys. Don't you worry.
Guys, it's so lovely to see you tonight. Thank you for your time, and thank you all to the rest of the audience to join us tonight and get to see some of the beautiful folks that have been come to Panama with us. Some of them already came before us,
and we got people coming like David and Jocelyn coming in March.
Beautiful,
fantastic.
Oh, right, guys.
So, and if we don't see you, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, it's getting that time of year, isn't it? Woohoo! All right, guys. It was a wonderful evening. Thank you all for joining. And to our friends. Bye.
I'll see you guys.
Good night, everyone.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.